for many Indigenous small businesses in Canada who may employ only a few people or just one or two, about how they can actually practically access these markets, because for anyone it's complex, and I wonder what supports is going to be given.
Well, that's a really important question, and today it's really terrific to see Canadian Indigenous peoples, along with others in the other economies that are a part of IPETCA, come together in this what is a historic arrangement. But the question you're asking is, how do we help Indigenous businesses here in Canada get the supports, the know-how, the knowledge, in an effort to grow their businesses here, and in doing so, then therefore access those new markets. Yesterday's session, we had a really great dialogue that had a number of Indigenous businesses, but we also had a number of resources from the federal government, like the Trade Commissioner Service, that really sought to transfer knowledge, that sought to build greater capacity, to help businesses understand the tools that are available to them here in Canada to grow their business. We work with Aboriginal financial institutions like under the umbrella of NACA, for example, to deal with issues like getting access to capital. The example that I shared earlier of that wonderful women-led business was very much about the Trade Accelerator program that we have here in Canada that helps Indigenous business put together a export plan, get the kind of mentorship or business networking advice that that entrepreneur is looking for, and then understanding through the Trade Commissioner Service the range of opportunities in whichever market is that that particular business might want access. So I often talk about the importance of having a trade toolkit for Canadian businesses, for Indigenous businesses, and that is work that we will continue to do to support the growth of Indigenous businesses. And through IPETCA, the wonderful opportunity here is that sharing of knowledge as well, and best practices across the various economies, Indigenous business to Indigenous business, on how those opportunities can in fact grow even more.
I wondered if also you had any projections for how much this may be worth to the Indigenous economy, say over 5 years or 10 years.
Well, you heard me say that I think that there is tremendous opportunity, and there was a wonderful report that was done by the Aboriginal Business Council just a few short years ago that highlighted the importance and the opportunities to the economy, to the Indigenous economy here in Canada. I'll get my team to follow up with you on that, on that number. But you also heard a little earlier that that there is a Indigenous economic development strategy that has just been released, and as part of that, trade being a piece and a component of that. Today, Indigenous businesses contribute $30 billion to the Canadian economy already today. So that is where we are today, and I believe that there is tremendous potential to grow even more.
Next question.
Hello, I'm Jeff Pelsier. I'm with Nunatsiaq News, and for our audience and our readers, they're mostly living across Inuit Nunangat, and I'm curious for them, what can they expect to benefit from this agreement?
Yeah, thank you so much, Jeff. I'm going to paraphrase what one of the elders said earlier in how this came together, how we at the Government of Canada worked alongside and together with Indigenous peoples. And the way that they described it was a very small circle was first formed to include the Indigenous entrepreneurs and businesses who want to be a part of this effort and opportunity for international trade. And what I do welcome are the Indigenous, are the businesses from the North who I hope can expand on this circle so that we are hearing directly, that we are working together in understanding both the need and the opportunities and the contributions to their economy and indeed to the global economy.
And as a follow-up, a lot of northern communities are fly-in communities. They're very remote. They're expensive to get to, expensive to stay in. And I'm curious how the government will support businesses that are more expensive to access just by the fact that they're more remote and harder to get to.
Yeah, very, very important question. I'm looking around because I actually, I was looking for my colleague, the Minister of Northern Affairs and Northern Economic Development, but the answer is the specifics around that I'm going to let my wonderful colleague speak about because he's been doing such enormous work. But it is precisely why we have a minister whose responsibility is tackling that very issue, ensuring that there is prosperity and opportunities and economic both empowerment and opportunities for our north in Canada.
Merci tout le monde. That comes to the end of our press conference.
Thank you so much. I apologize for interrupting everyone's wonderful socializing so that I can get back up here on the podium. But please resume that wonderful socializing because I think that part was fabulous.